Hi, good morning, class 5. How are you? I hope you guys are doing well. Okay, so we were at that coming of the British. Okay, so I had explained you the first part of it, the coming of the British, the Dutch, the Portuguese, Vasco da Gama, what happened. Then we did a part of the Battle of Plassey, uh, and then we have the Battle of Buxar. Okay, so I'll read. I did not read in the first videos. I just explained till the Battle of Plassey. So I'll read till here today. After that, again, I'll read Battle of Buxar, and then I'll give an explanation. Then we have the revolt of 1857. What happened? I had just given you a basic idea of it. What happened in 1857 and the Indian National Congress, I have not touched. So we'll be doing the Indian National Congress, the partition of Bengal, the Swadeshi movement. Okay, so then we'll be done. But today I'm going to only read, and till the Battle of Buxar we'll read, or we'll go further than that. Whatever I read, I'll come back in the next class and I'll explain it to you. Okay, so let's start on page 90, the coming of the British, chapter 15. In 1498, Vasco da Gama, a Portuguese explorer, discovered a new sea route to India via the Cape of Good Hope. The Portuguese were the first to come to Calicut, now Kozhikode, and start with India. They built trade centers at Cochin, now Kochi, Kannanur, now Kannur, and Calicut. Spices were the most important trade of the Portuguese dealt in because they helped in preservation of the meat in winter and made food tastier. They also traded silk and gold, which were considered very valuable in the whole of Europe. Explanation I have done for you. The Dutch followed the Portuguese to India and established trade centers. Then British came and the Dutch gave up their centers as they were more interested in the East Indies. Tales of India's prosperity reached to England through the British travelers who came to India. The British merchants formed the English East India Company in 1600 CE with permission from Queen Elizabeth I, who was the Queen of England and Ireland at that time. The company got permission from the Mughal Empire Emperor Jahangir to trade in India and set up the first trade center in Surat. The French also set up their own trading company and established themselves in Chandanagar, now in Bengal, and Pondicherry, now Puducherry, near Chennai. A sense of rivalry developed between the British and the French as each of them tried to establish a new and larger colonies in India. There were clash between the two, which resulted in the French being defeated by the British. As a result, the French were allowed to keep Pondicherry. Okay, that I have told you. Now we come to the Battle of Plassey. The Mughal Empire gradually weakened after the death of Aurangzeb in 1707. The Mughal Empire finished in 1707. And the English East India Company became more ambitious. They wanted to take control over various parts of India. They first wanted to bring Bengal under their control because it was the richest province in the country. This was the reason behind Battle of Plassey that took place in 1757. The British had started maintaining an army in Bengal. They also began to fortify Calcutta, now as Kolkata. Siraj-ud-Dawla, the Nawab of Bengal, ordered the removal of the British army and all the fortifications. When the British refused, he declared war on them. However, the British under Robert Clive emerged victorious. Siraj-ud-Dawla captured and put to death. This was the first step towards the conquest of Bengal, because they could conquest and get hold of Bengal because of Mir Jafar. I told you earlier, they had bribed Mir Jafar, the commander and the main person of Siraj-ud-Dawla, and that's how they got all the information. Battle of Buxar. Another battle, the Battle of Buxar, took place in 1764. That means in the Battle of Plassey, the British took Bengal under their control. Battle of Buxar took place in 1764. It was fought between the Nawab of Bengal, Nawab of Awadh, and the Mughal Emperor on one side and the British on the other. The British emerged victorious again. Thus, Bengal finally came under British rule. After the Battle of Plassey and the Battle of Buxar, the English East India Company laid the foundation of its colonial rule in India. Gradually, through various policies such as the subsidiary alliance and the doctrine of lapse, they became the rulers of India. The subsidiary alliance was introduced by Lord Richard Wellesley, who was the Governor General of India in 1798 to 1805. According to the terms of the subsidiary alliance, Indian rulers under British protection had to give up their native armies and instead maintain British troops in their states. The rulers had to give control of their foreign affairs to the British. In return, the English India Company protected them from the attacks of their rivals. The policy of the doctrine of lapse was introduced by Lord Dalhousie, who was the Governor General of India in 1848 to 1856. It enabled the British to take control of any Indian state if the ruler of that state had died without leaving a natural born heir, which had to be the ruler's own son. Now the alliance was that whichever state or whichever part of India any ruler was there, the chiefs who were ruling, and they had to give up their own armies and they had to take the English army with them, and they had to rule them, and they had to report to the Governor General, and they in return they were given support, and they were given security and support, so that when any other war is there, the Britishers are going to help them. And they had to give up their own armies within the states. The rulers had to give control of the foreign affairs to the British. All whatever affairs will be there, trading and all whatever will be there, will be taken care by the British troops or by the British government. And the doctrine of lapse is, if there is any ruler and if he dies without his own son, then it has to be taken over by the British. And this was the only problem which they created, and this is what happened. So Battle of Buxar, this happened. So India is under the British control. The revolt of 1857. What happened? The revolt of 1857. Indian rulers were unhappy with the British. Automatically they will be unhappy because they have suddenly come and taken over our country. And so were the Indian soldiers, also known as sepoys in the British army. We are called now Sipahis. So at time it was called sepoys. The peasants were also unhappy as they had to pay a lot of taxes and were living in poverty. All this led to an uprising or revolt in 1857, widely known as the Revolt of 1857 or the Sepoy Mutiny. The immediate cause of the revolt was the introduction of the Enfield rifle. The cartridge of this rifle had a greased cover which had to be bitten off before use. It was believed that this cover was greased with the fat of cows and pigs. This offended the religious sentiments of both Hindus and Muslims, as Hindus are not permitted to eat beef and Muslims are not permitted to eat pork. Pork is pig meat. The Indian soldiers refused to use this cartridge. They overthrew their superiors and marched to Delhi to the crown Mughal Bahadur Shah II. Bahadur Shah Zafar was the last ruler, also known as Bahadur Shah Zafar, as the rightful emperor. When started as Sepoy rebellion or mutiny, soon became the first war of Indian independence. Indian rulers and leaders such as Rani Lakshmi Bai of Jhansi, Nana Saheb, Tantia Tope and Kunwar Singh joined the rebels. The revolt continued for a year or so before it was crushed again by the British. It failed because it lacked strong leadership and was not planned properly. The British were better armed and organized. Also, some Indian rulers helped the British. Rani Lakshmibai died while fighting and Nana Sahib was defeated. Bahadur Shah was captured and exiled in Burma, now Myanmar, where he died later. His two sons were killed, bringing an end to once of the total Mughal Empire. The revolt was a turning point in the history of India. The rule of the English East India Company ended and was replaced by the rule of the British Crown. It was became more tough. Queen Victoria was declared the Empress of India, and it was decided that henceforth her viceroys would govern India on her behalf. So what happened is the 1857 revolt. There was a cartridge, you have seen a magazine. They push at the back of the gun. They shove it inside, and the back of the gun they push it and then they pull it. In this, the cartridge case had to be bit open with the teeth and then put into the gun. It was called the Enfield rifle. Okay, so that's why people didn't want to, because we had Hindu Muslim soldiers and they didn't want to put it to their mouth because it was made with beef and pig oil or pig fat. That's why it was done. So I'll come back in the next video and I'll read the other part of the Indian National Congress. Okay.